Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football post-game show. We're going to go over both games. First, the most recent one, the game between the Bengals and Rams. The Bengals beat the Rams 19-16 last night at Paul Brown Stadium uh, uh, in Cincinnati, Ohio. After missing most of training camp with a calf injury, Joe Burrow is still working his way back into form. Monday night's 19-16 win over the Rams. The first by the Bengals this season. They finally get their first win of the season. Four quarterbacks shook off the lingering effects of the night of the right calf, strain that kept his status in doubt right up until game time. He wasn't quite mobile as usual and didn't record a touchdown pass, but he managed to help the Bengals get to 1-2 and get up off the canvas. I pride myself on my availability, Burrow said. There is a risk to go out there and potentially injure it, but there is a risk to go out there and be 0-3. But Burrow finished 26 of 49 for a season high 259 yards and also threw a second interception this season. His favorite target, Ja'Marr Chase, broke out with 12 catches for 141 yards. Although 9 different Bengals were recipients of Burrow's passes during the evening. Excuse me. Chase's longest catch was a 43-yarder that came during a third quarter drive that led to the third of 4 field goals by Evan McPherson. Burrow and Chase during pregame warm-up told Chase during pregame warm-up, that he was going to play. I didn't want him to play, Chase said. It shows that Joe was hard-headed, but he is a football player. It takes a lot to be a quarterback and also be injured. And we needed to get this win, Chase said. I was just being there for for Joe. All I could do is try to make Joe look good. Joe Mixon's 14-yard touchdown, run in the third, gave the reigning AFC North champs their first lead of the season. Meanwhile, linebacker Logan Wilson picked off a Los Angeles quarterback, Matthew Stafford twice, and the Bengals sacked him 6 times. Stafford threw a 1-yard scoring pass to Tutu Atwell, I guess, with just over a minute left in the game, and the Pat got the Rams within 3 points, but Mitchell Wilcox fell on the ensuring outside kick to seal the win for the Bengals. And it wasn't clear until just before game time whether or not Burrow would play. As I mentioned, the injury occurred early in training camp when he aggravated it, which was his knee. The Bengals lost to Baltimore last week. Burrow returned to practice on Thursday on a limited basis, and on Saturday the team listed him as questionable. In the workout today, I felt good enough to play, Burrow said. Don't have any setbacks was basically the criteria, and it's still day to day, and it's a good to get through this one. It's going to be better this week than it was last week. The Cincinnati defense was outstanding. Stafford was sacked twice by the defensive end, Trey Hendrickson, and Wilson intercepted him once in each half. The second 2-interception game in the fourth year linebacker's career. Our defense have kept us right in this thing, Bengals coach Zach Taylor said. Stafford's finished 18 for 39, 269 yards as the Rams slipped to 1-2. Puka Nacua, who's 25 receptions for 266 yards in his first 2 games, was a rookie record, led the Rams with 5 catches for 72 yards. Mixon was a workhorse again, carrying 19 times for 65 yards on Cincinnati's first possession of the second half. He went over left tackle and found a seam to score from 14 yards out, his first TD of the season to cap a 10-play, 75-yard drive. It did feel like we were striking distance, Rams coach Sean McVay said. I thought the defense kept us in the game the whole night, and I thought it was really unfortunate, especially early on where we had to settle for field goals when we had some of the locks and some opportunities to be able to execute, and we just weren't able to get it done, and they were not. So, and here's a Ring of Honor former quarterback Boomer Esiason and receiver Chad Johnson were inducted into the Bengals Ring of Honor at halftime. Esiason played for the Bengals from 1984 to 1992, and then again for a final season in 1997. He was elected to the Pro Bowl 3 times and was the NFL MVP in 1988. Johnson, who was officially known as Chad Hackno from 2008 to 2011, played in Cincinnati for 10 seasons, and he was elected to 6 Pro Bowls. He's still the team's all-time leader in receptions, 751 receiving yards, 10,783, and receiving touchdowns, 66. So, and the injuries for the Rams, it was Arley Jackson, offensive lineman, left tackle in the first half with a thigh injury and didn't return, and offensive lineman Joe Noteboom, he had a knee injury and went out in the third quarter and didn't return. Well, up next, the Rams are at Indianapolis to take on the Colts on Sunday. And the Bengals play at Tennessee this Sunday. And they will try to even up their record to 2-2, and so will the Rams. So, but I have to give credit to where credit is due, and I got to give it to the Rams. I mean, to the Bengals, excuse me. So I have to give the game balls to the Bengals. Joe Burrow, 26 to 48, carries and attempts, 259 yards. One interception. Joe Mixon, 19 attempts, 65 yards, 1 touchdown. And Jamar Chase, 12 receptions, 141 yards. So, this was one game where neither team, it was a low scoring game. There was a low scoring game, and the Bengals just held on to win it. So, and now we're going to go to the early one before that one. There was an early Monday night game. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, 25-11 last night. Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles are unbeaten, but not perfect, or even as good as they feel they can be. Everybody wants us to be a final product now, but it's growth. You want to grow every day, Coach Nick Sirianni said after defending the after the defending NFC champions, dominated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 25-11. As you know, we're not going to be playing our best football until we get going into the season. Sirianni said, added, "We still got things to work on. We've still got growth to do." Hurts threw for a touchdown, ran for another, and led the Eagles on a game-ending drive that lasted more than 9 minutes. Philadelphia won its first 8 games a year ago and is off to a 3-0 start in consecutive seasons for the first time since 1992-1993 season. That's the 92-93 season. At the end of the day, it's about catching. It's about throwing. It's about taking care of the football, and it's about taking away the football. It's about tackling. It's about blocking. It's about getting off blocks. Those are the key fundamentals of playing football, and our guys really did a good job of putting that extra work in, Sirianni said. That's going to continue to take us through the season. Hurts improved to 20-1 over the last 21 regular season games. He tossed a 34-yard TD pass to uh, Om- uh, Olamide Zacchaeus that helped Philly build a 13-3 halftime lead, and his 1-yard scoring run on a quarterback sneak gave the Eagles a 17-point advantage early in the second half. The Eagles led 25-3 by the time the Bucs finally got into the end zone on Baker Mayfield's 1-yard TD throw to Mike Evans. An 2-point conversion trimmed Philadelphia's lead to a 14-point lead with 9:22 remaining, but Hurts and the Eagles never let Tampa Bay get the ball back. At that point, we were hoping to get the ball back, score quick, and make it interesting, Mayfield said, but we didn't play a good ball game. They were a lot to do with that. Bucs coach Todd Bowles said. Todd Bowles said, "We can't mope about it." Hurts was 4 of 5 passing and ran for a first down on the final drive outside. Some turnovers on my behalf. I think we did a really good job of executing, Hurts said. We've got to do a better job of controlling the things we can, but we've got 3 wins down, and we're going to continue to build off of that as a team and hold each other accountable. That's the name of the game. The Bucs fall to 2-1 for the first time with Mayfield at quarterback, turning the ball over twice after playing turnover free against Minnesota and Chicago. The Bucs usually reliable defense struggled too, yielding 201 yards rushing. A week after a running for a career high 175 yards, DeAndre Swift ran for 130 yards on 16 attempts for Philadelphia. Hurts ran for 23 of 37 passing for 277 yards and 2 interceptions, with A.J. Brown, while A.J. Brown finished with 9 receptions for 131 yards for the Eagles, one of just 3 NFL teams that remain unbeaten along with Miami and San Francisco. Mayfield completed 15 of 25 passes for 146 yards, 1 touchdown, and an interception. Evans had 5 receptions, giving him 700 in his career. It's all on us. I hope we can play them again in the future, Evans said. We had a lot of opportunities. I just wish we could have started faster and helped our team. And here's a good omen. 12 of the past 14 teams to start 3-0 have gone on to reach the playoffs. Now, there was a halftime ceremony. Rondé Barber's 92-yard interception return for a touchdown that sealed the Tampa Bay's victory over the Eagles in the 2002 NFC Championship game in Philadelphia is perhaps the most memorable play in Tampa Bay franchise history. The former Bucs star was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in August and received the Hall of Fame Ring of Excellence at halftime Monday night. So that is an honor to get that. And there were some injuries. Eagles wide receiver Quez Watkins pulled a hamstring, and running back Boston Scott suffered a concussion. Were both inactive. Safety Justin Evans has a neck injury, left the game in the first quarter. And then for the Buccaneers, quarterback Carlton Davis the third has a toe injury, and defensive lineman Khalid Cansey remained sidelined after sitting out previous week against Chicago. So up next, the Eagles are back home to face the NFC East rival Washington Commanders on Sunday, and the Buccaneers are at New Orleans to take on the New Orleans Saints. So I got to give the game balls to the Eagles. I have to give them to them. Uh, Jalen Hurts. Uh, Sorry about that. I haven't had a little technical problem. Jalen Hurts, 23 of 37, 277 yards, one touchdown, two interceptions. DeAndre Swift, 16 attempts, 130 yards, and A.J. Brown, 9 receptions, 131 yards. This was one of those games where the opposing team who was playing on the road dominated. So that was just really one of those things. That was really what it was. And now we go to week 4, and to kick off Thursday night, week 4 for Thursday Night Football, the Detroit Lions will face the Green Bay Packers at the legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And the Browns face Baltimore at home at Cleveland Browns Stadium. And Sunday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs travel to MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. And Monday Night Football, and there'll only be one Monday night game next week. The Seattle Seahawks travel to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. We'll have a lot of football on Sunday, so stay tuned for that. That's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football post-game show. And I did win my pick. I was 12-4. I won both Monday night games. That does wrap it up. I'll be back with the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football pregame show on Thursday. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.